We got the SYXMoto SPRK 60 volt electric dirt bike. I put about 16 or 17 miles on this bike since we've unboxed it. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go check that out. We go through the entire setup of this bike from the box to a full assembled dirt bike. So make sure you check that out. Today we're going to be going over kind of the features, all the display functions, kind of some of the things I've changed and tweaked on the bike as I started riding it, initially. So we're going to go over all of that in this video. So if you're interested in getting one of these bikes, check out SYXMoto's website that's also available on Amazon. You can use our code Bear Creek. It's going to get you $100 off your order. And I believe if you do it on SYXMoto's website, there's free shipping right now. So that's going to save you a ton. This bike is under $2,000 and it hauls, a 250-pound rider around no problem. So there is a lot of positives about this bike, and we're going to go through a couple things on the chassis and like the suspension and things, and then we'll go into the electronic system and show you the whole layout of the bike. What I did with the, chassis is we have adjusted the chain so that I have some slack in it. They don't come from the factory adjusted quite right, and you're going to want to adjust on your little eye bolts back here. Also, one thing I did notice is the brake caliper does chatter a little bit, and you'll hear it kind of ticking and squeaking a little bit. So we may have to end up, basically there's some play in the caliper itself. Maybe I have to take the bracket that's down there and bend it just a fuzz, because maybe I have a little bit of pad squeak, and it could be that the pad quality or whatever is not quite as good, and maybe that's what the noise is. So I do hear a little bit of that. So be mindful of that when you guys get it. Not really anything to worry about. It's just something that's there, and we will continue to tweak on that and see if that goes away. When this shock came from the factory, it was extremely soft, so we had to do some adjustments. You have a setting down here, and you have a setting up top. You will have to take that splash guard off to access that screw on top a lot easier. So what you'll find is that this thing is cranked all the way counterclockwise when you get it. You have to turn that one in quite a ways to increase the stiffness. You can see there is a soft and a hard setting there, as well as firm and soft down here. This here is going to control kind of the rebound, I believe, on the shock. So when you crank that to soft, basically what it does is when you sit on it, it doesn't spring it back right away. It kind of like sits down and doesn't fly back up. So depending on what conditions you're riding in, you can tweak on this. I believe there's probably 15 clicks on that adjustment, and maybe 10 or so on the top one. But if you do that on the full stiffness setting, this thing will basically have no suspension. It'll be stiff as a board. So if you want to do wheelies all the time, you can crank that stiffness to the max, and then it will pull the front end up all the time. And that's kind of where I have it right now. I have it like a couple clicks before fully maxed out. We did talk about tire pressures in the last unboxing, but I'm still running at about 30 pounds. You can go a little bit less, a little bit more, things like that. See here it says the wheel size is stamped in there. Also on the back. I think on charge time, the bike will take about 6 to 8 hours roughly to get it charged. Is from my experience, I've only charged it fully a couple times. And the battery life is pretty solid. If you guys are gonna ride this bike at full speed for as hard and as long as you can go, it will drain the battery relatively quickly. Like any electric machine, if you put it to its maximum abilities, it will draw the battery down, especially uphill at full throttle with this bike. You're not going to want to be doing that for the entire time of your ride. It's best to only do that in short bursts if you want your battery to last more than a couple miles. So if you're just doing normal commuting, 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, this thing will do that for, many, many miles before the battery is dead. So just keep that in mind. The battery is removable, guys. First, here is the charging port. And then there is a thumb screw Get that glare out of there. You can see thumb screw right there, and then this plug will have to get disconnected, and that's why they have the handle here, so you can take the battery out if you wanted to charge it. Say your bike's in the garage, you wanted to charge it somewhere else, you can take the battery out that way. And then the motor that's in it is actually a 5500 watt motor. I was talking with SYXMoto and I had a little bit of misinformation on the electric motor. That is actually a 5500 watt peak motor, not a 4500 watt. So just so you guys know, if you're doing your research, 5500 watt, 60 volt is what this bike is. That's basically what I did on the chassis and like some of the little tweaks that I've done so far on the bike. Like I said, I have that guard removed right now because I've been adjusting the suspension. I've been riding it in certain areas and just changing things up a little bit. The front forks do have these flathead screws. Don't seem to be doing a whole lot with those. Have to do a little more digging on that so I can get back to you at a future date there. You can, if you don't like the ride height, you guys could adjust your triple clamps. You can loosen that up and you can slide the bike down on the forks a little bit if you want the ride height a little bit closer to the ground. So far, we are impressed with the SYXMoto SPRK dirt bike. It has plenty of good qualities, and we're gonna try to do some more tweaks to it and get better at riding the bike overall, just learning kind of how it reacts. And we usually run it in the third setting, which is the fastest setting all the time. If you're a beginner, you're gonna want to start out in the first setting, especially if you're new to just two wheels in general and you don't have a lot of dirt bike experience. Highly recommend staying in the first setting, maybe the second setting. And then when you're fully comfortable with the bike, move up to the third setting on the screen. And I'll show you guys how to do all that and the features and the layout of the display and all the functions. On the left-hand side, we have the horn, we have your rear brake, and then we have basically the multi-function switch, I guess you'd call it. This is where you're gonna adjust the modes up and down, your headlights, turn signals, and then this is your mode settings button. And I'll show you guys what to do when you access that. The screen obviously is in the middle with the key. We mounted the key here. You could mount it out here, but I found that it might get in the way and it could get broken off or bent. So we kept it down by the screen to keep it out of harm's way. Just that way, less risk of it getting damaged. So your screen comes on like this. It's going to show P when the bike is first turned on, and you can take the throttle. It's not going to do anything. It's in like a sleep state. Your display over here is going to light up green. To get out of the park symbol to start riding, you're going to activate the plus button, and that's going to change it to the speedometer screen and your odometer. And then you'll toggle between modes with the plus and minus button. You can see the color changes from red to blue to green. Green is the first setting, slowest. Then you got 2, which is blue, that's like medium speed. And then 3 is red, and that's the fastest speed. So that's where I've been running it, is the third setting. And that's, like I said, going to give you maximum torque, maximum speed, best overall performance. So that's where I run it at. But if you're a beginner, I highly suggest running it in the first setting to get familiar with the bike. The only thing we missed on the right would be the front brake. You can see that there. So you can also get out of that screen by hitting the brake and or hitting the plus button on I call this the multi-function switch. On this side, we also have your twist throttle, which further you twist it back, the more power you're going to have. The throttle travel is quite a bit, a lot more than you'd think. So be mindful of that. You can really twist on that throttle to get full speed out of this machine. So we got front brake, rear brake, your switch, horn, and then headlight. You guys probably can't tell, but the headlight comes on with the taillight, and then we do have turn signal. And then to turn the turn signal off, you just hit that side that you had on, and it will take the turn signal off. Turn signals are only on the rear taillight assembly, just so you guys know. So that is the overall controls and how to turn the thing on and what everything does. Like I said, you can either hit the brake to take you out of the, I call it the park mode, or your parking brakes on basically. So as soon as I did that, I'm twisting the throttle and I'm moving already. So I'm ready to go. The next big thing you're going to want to do if you guys are in the US or you use miles per hour for your speeds is you're going to want to change it from kilometers to miles per hour. Now to do that, you're going to hold down the mode button. It's going to get you into this P screen, and you're going to hit the mode button. You're going to go from basically P01, you're going to go to P02, I think, or 3. I'll show you in just a second. I will give you a brief description of each one of those settings, what it's doing and what it means, and you guys can tweak it a little bit. There isn't a lot of adjustment in there, but there is some. So I will go through that real fast. I will give you the rundown on those settings. Hold down the mode button. This is P01, which is going to be the display brightness. So you can change it with the toggle of the up and down. I put it on 2, which is like the middle setting. The second setting here is going to be miles per hour or kilometers. You can see I can change it there if I want miles per hour or kilometers per hour. So change that. The next one is going to be the battery voltage system. This is a 60 volt, so you can see it's 57.6. So I go to the next one. You can change it to 72, but that's not going to work because the system is a 60 volt. The next one here, this does time out fairly fast, so I will go back through there. P6 is going to be the diameter of the tire, outside diameter, which is 22 inches on this bike. That would be if you change the tire for whatever reason and you had a different diameter, it's going to make your speedometer accurate to what tire size you have. So I did play around with it and I changed the settings way down to 17, and it did make the readout a lot slower. So I did check these are 22 inches roughly. When I checked the rear tire, I went off the rear tire. I don't know if it matters, but I went off the rear. Maybe it makes a difference, maybe not. But I went off the rear tire, the outside diameter, which is 22 inches. So check the settings one more time. Hit the mode button to toggle through. 8 is going to be a speed limit, I believe, and I put it to 70 because this bike's not going to make it to 70. This, I think, is an odometer reset, so you're not going to want to play with that. This one, I don't know what that one is, and also I don't know what P9, 7, and 9, 9 are. So the ones you're going to want to mess with are the screen brightness and the kilometers and miles per hour. That's the 2 big ones. If you let the button sit dormant, it's going to take you back to the main screen, and there you go. Like I said, you can either take the safety park off by hitting the brake levers or hitting one of these buttons on the control pad. So that is the functions and how everything works, the display, the whole 9 yards on this bike. It's very, very simple. Anybody can operate this thing. You're not going to have any issues with being too complicated. You know, it's very simple. The controller here, the buttons have a soft grip to them, very easy to push, not really very tiresome on the fingers, so that's nice. The only thing I didn't mention is your battery status is here. This will go down as the battery discharges. Turn the bike off with the key, and away you go. So what we'll do next is we'll take the bike out for a drive. I'll put my camera on me so you guys can get a POV shot of the bike, and I will do some footage of us taking it around so you can see what it looks like on the actual exterior while we're riding. If you're interested in getting one of these, there's 3 colors, silver, orange, and I believe black. Check them out on SYXMoto's website or on Amazon. I have links to all this stuff in the description of the video, and then you can use our discount code for $100 off. So added bonus there. If you guys order it and use our code, helps us out, it's gonna help you out, and it's gonna help SYXMoto out with some sales. So definitely, if you're in the market for an electric bike and you wanna test the waters with something, this would be a good candidate for that, especially if you're an adult rider and you want something that's not gonna be super, super slow, but not something that's gonna be so fast that you can't even drive it. Like some of those Stark Vargs, anything with a 72 volt that's insane like 70-mile-an-hour speeds. You know, that's made for the motocross track in the woods. This is more for your casual rider. You can take it off-road, you can take it on-road. It's gonna do 43 miles an hour. And I will do a top speed run on the bike in the future, but I have verified it does do the advertised speed of 43 miles an hour. So they did not lie on that one bit. That is accurate. I have tested it. You guys will see the video on that shortly. Let me know your thoughts on the bike, guys. I think it's pretty cool for what it is. I'm kind of getting more interested in the electric bikes. I still have a soft spot, obviously, for the normal 2-stroke, 4-stroke dirt bikes, but these electrics are cool. A lot less maintenance. You're not having to put gas, oil, do actual engine maintenance on it. You're just charging the battery and twisting the throttle. So super cool. Make sure you check the links out in the description. I'll also have them in the comments section so you guys can check them out there. And we'll see you in the next video.